Hi everyone, thanks for watching just now. Now I thought I wasn't going to do this, but as I have my leaven, which has now been turned into dough thanks to 5 minutes kneading in the Thermomix, I thought I would just show you the next step as a little bit of a bonus before tomorrow, because hopefully you'll now see what's involved before doing it alongside me tomorrow. So my dough is in here. Now this is quite sticky, this dough. Don't know if you can see that. It is sticky. It will stick to your fingers. So the way, and you do want it to be sticky. So what you want to do is have some olive oil on your hands on your worktop, and then it makes things a lot easier. So I get my dough scraper in and then just decant it down onto my worktop. Just angle you so you can see the worktop. You can see here's the dough. So this is the leaven plus the 270 grams of flour plus the 270 grams of water plus the 400 grams of flour. Okay, now it just depends on how, all these doughs are different. If you find it really difficult to handle at this point, you think, no, I'm not going to do this, you can actually put it back in the Thermomix with about another 30 to 50 grams of flour and knead it again for a few minutes, if you would rather not handle the sticky dough. Now, what I would say is that we have a sort of mantra in bread making, the wetter the better. So if you can bear a sticky dough, then you do get a better loaf of bread as a result. So, but what I will be doing is showing you how to stretch and fold to stop some of the stickiness anyway. So there's the dough out, which is nice. Why use the dough scraper? Oh, I just prefer it. It's wider. You could use the Thermomix spatula if you wanted to. I've just been using one of these for years and I'm used to it. Right, now I, at this point, will divide my dough into two pieces. And if I'm being really, have I still got a Thermomix on? I have. I'm just going to get a set of weighing scales out though. If I'm being really finicky about it, which I actually am, I will weigh each piece to make sure they're exactly the same. So that's 584. I think this is going to be slightly under actually. They're usually about 550. Yeah, so let's just add in. So they're about 570 each. Perfect. So I've got my two balls, or starts of the balls of equal weight, which is really important because it means they'll cook at exactly the same time. So now, again, it's sticky. So what I'm going to do, this is the start of the stretch and fold. So you don't want too much oil on the work surface. But can you see, let's just angle you down a bit more so you can see my hand. So I'm literally stretching it out and popping it back into the center. Stretching it out, stretching it out, stretching it out, center. Stretching out. That's called a stretch and fold because it literally is stretching and folding. Okay, so you get a nice ball like that. Okay, and now I've got too much oil on there, so it's not going to roll around very easily. So I'm going to do exactly the same with the other one. This is lovely dough. I can already tell this is going to make a beautiful loaf a bit later on. So I'm going to just roll it around like that, stretch and fold. Now, when you come to shaping, and you might have seen this on my video, you can, with your hands like this, sort of gently pull it towards you and just allow it to roll itself. And then I do a sort of a 90-degree turn so that I make sure it will roll a bit more easily if you don't have so much oil on your hands and on your work surface. And you can see what I'm doing is I'm giving the surface of this bread a lot more tension by doing that. It's a lot smoother. Can you see this one? Isn't very smooth. This one is beautifully smooth if you look at them side by side. So that is the sort of the benefit of doing this kind of technique. And it's actually very therapeutic. You just gently encourage it to roll towards you. No, you don't have to make two, Rachel. I split mine and make two. I thought I made that clear in my instructions, sorry. I always make two because my children don't really like sourdough. Well, they will eat it, but they prefer other bread. So I usually just give one away to a neighbour. So that is my shaped loaves. Now, you can At this point, I would recommend leaving them for 15 minutes. So you leave them to rest, just shapes like that for 15 minutes. Let me bring you up so I can see you again. And then you'll find that they naturally start to flatten again. And then after the 15 minutes, you do it again. You pull and you stretch, and this is called a stretch and fold. Okay, so just pull it round. Now, if your dough is really wet and difficult to work with, what I found works really well, or if it gets really sloppy and flattens down very quickly whilst it's resting, what I found really well is just to delay putting it in the banneton and taking an extra half an hour and just doing about 3 of these stretch and folds every sort of 10 minutes. So stretch and fold back to the centre, stretch and fold every 10 minutes. And it's very quick, and then just rolling it towards you. And every time your dough ball gets tighter and seems to get drier. And this is a very well known technique in sourdough making. So again, I would just pull it towards me, roll it towards you like that. And every time you do it, you will feel the dough getting tauter and firmer. So that's how I would handle it. If the dough's really slack, I would suggest that when you leave it to rest, don't just leave it for 15 minutes and then do a final shape and put it in the banneton. Give it an extra 30 minutes and do that process of stretching and folding every 10 minutes. And then it will give you a tighter, more structured loaf as a result. Hi Marie, is that a plastic mat? Yeah, I do it on I've just got a work surface protector here, yes. I usually just do it straight on my tablecloth down there, which you'll see, my oilcloth, but it's a bit too low for these lives. So yeah, absolutely, you can do it on a silicone mat, on a piece of oilcloth, on a tablecloth. As long as your dough is not sticking to your surface, that's, you know, it's fine. So what I'm going to do with these now is just leave them to rest for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to do a final shape, and then I'm going to pop them into the bannetons. So these bannetons here look like this. I just have them stored within plastic bags because they have got a little bit of flour on them. So my bannetons, I never wash them out. All you want to do is add some flour to them. Let's get my flour. So flour them like this. Now this is at the end of your resting period, remember. I'm just doing it straight away so that you can see the process all in one go. Oops, don't want to do that. And again, just make sure that the bannetons are covered in flour. If you don't have a banneton, you can use a colander with a well-floured tea towel, but I just prefer a floured banneton like that. And then, so for the final shape, I will just do my stretch and fold again. So stretching and folding all the way around. And each time I do it, as I say, it just gets tighter. And then I'm using my hands just to roll it towards me. Hang on, let's angle you back down again. This is my favourite bit, I really like it. And if it gets a little bit sticky, just put a bit of extra oil on your hands. Okay, so that's that done. Done, nice tight ball, and all I do is pop it into the banneton. So this one again, stretch it, so imagine it's had its resting time, it's 30 minutes or just its 15 minutes if it's okay, and then a final gentle caress and final shape like this, lovely tight skin on it, and pop it into the banneton. Then into a plastic bag, like that. The other one goes into a plastic bag. And then all I do is let them rest in the fridge for 8 hours. So it's 8 hours of fermentation in the fridge. You might find that they don't look like they've changed much. This is what happened to me the other day. They'd spread, but they hadn't risen. And actually that's fine. I baked anyway, and I produced beautiful round loaves, as you saw. So you might think it hasn't worked, but take it out after 8 hours anyway and bake. And I'll show you that process a little bit later on. Are we meant to? No, Sue, don't worry. You're not supposed to be doing this now. This is just me because I had extra dough. I'm making loaves today. I thought I'd show everybody the process as a little bit of a bonus so that you can see what to expect tomorrow. But we will be doing it step by step to get together tomorrow. So don't worry at all. All I'm going to do with these now is just go and pop them straight in the fridge. And so 8 hours time will be about 8 o'clock tonight, something like that. So I'll be baking at 8 o'clock tonight, which will mean that I'll have fresh bread ready for breakfast tomorrow. Okay, so I will see you at about 7 o'clock tonight for our, what are we doing? We're making the leaven. So we've activated our starter and now we're going to make the leaven tonight, which will be a really quick process and the fun begins tomorrow.